Going back to how to track and monitor your progress. As we know, what we measure, we tend to improve. So for me, for someone that wants to gain size, when they're lifting and they're looking at their program and they're following our gainers program, they see 4 sets of 6, let's say, on the barbell back squat. And last week they did 4 sets of 6. Now, how can we progressively overload that? Right. So let's just say, example, 4 sets of 6 they did 1 week, week 1, and they did a 2-minute rest in between sets. And their time under tension was 2 seconds on the way down for the squat, no pause at the bottom, and then they drive up as fast as they can. Mass times acceleration is our force capability. So we don't have to always think lift heavier, heavier, heavier. If you're moving the same weights but faster, you're improving your maximum force. That's one way you can do it, time under tension. Another way that you can do it is obviously the weight that you're putting in for each set. So let's say with this particular goal, we're working on plateau loading. First working set today, we're going to work at 80 kilos. So we work out 80 kilos, we're going to do 24 reps of that. You get your calculator out, 24 times 80. So we're lifting 1,920 kilos. Week 2, we're doing the same time under tension. You're resting the same amount. This time you're going to lift 100 kilos for 4 sets of 6. So that's an increase of 500 kilos over that set. So that's your tonnage, and that's a way that you can progressively overload that. And that's generally speaking for footballers, how I like to progressively overload their volume for those that are wanting to increase their muscle size. Nutrition. It'd be remiss of me if I didn't mention nutrition. If you want to gain muscle, that's critical. Seek a dietitian, follow people like Ben Parker, Jess Spenlove on Instagram, and make sure to seek some advice and some professional advice. Book a consultation with them. It's money well paid for, and I guarantee that will help supplement the training program. Ultimately, we've got to put the stress on the body. So there's no point investing all this money on supplements, dietitian, lifestyle, all these things if we're not stressing the body to adapt. The body simply needs the stress under the body. Otherwise, the body's smart, it's efficient, and it won't carry extra muscle mass that it needs for survival, right? It's not thinking about football performance, human body. It's thinking about what do we need for survival, and excess muscle mass is not necessary. It's expensive, actually. It costs energy to hold on to muscle mass. So unless you're stressing the body, i.e. lifting more volume in the gym, then you won't be gaining muscle mass. You'll be losing muscle mass. So first we need to get that program in place. Then you need the nutrition to support that training goal to maximize your adaptation. Number 3, running volume. I recently had Dean Ritchie on. He did his PhD at the Gold Coast Suns, and they found for players, developing players, that where they needed to maximize their hypertrophy, it was around that, top of the head, like 20 to 25 Ks, they limited their running volumes to. So they had one less football session a week, and they really closely monitored that running exposure because what they found is that if they had that extra running volume, it was really hard to put mass on their lower body. Upper body was different. Upper body was able to sustain, and it's probably largely to do with my 4th point, the interference effect. So if you want to gain size, if you want to get stronger, if you want to be more explosive, you really can't be doing your field session straight into your gym session. You want to space those out minimum 4 hours to limit that interference effect, which is simply just a term, a phenomenon of if you're adapting the body with an aerobic stimulus and then you're asking it for more anaerobic stimulus like strength training and power training, there's an interference effect. All right. So essentially think of it like confusing the signals. So you're not going to get the bang for buck benefits, but also you're going into that gym session fatigued. So your ability to bring intensity in that gym session is going to be negatively affected. And if you accumulate that habit over weeks of your off season, you're going to be far worse off compared to the same. If you compared to your program where you did, let's say, your gym in the mornings and you did your conditioning in the afternoons.